Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us. I'm Paula Eben. Day 3 of the Karen Read trial featured more of the witnesses who responded to the scene the day Boston police officer John O'Keefe died. The testimony largely focused on what Karen Read said at the scene and what people did to try to save John O'Keefe.
At that point, I asked her if there had been any significant trauma that happened before this.
What, if anything, did she say?
So she said, I hit him. She repeated it. There was a woman standing across from her who I believe at that point said, you're hysterical. You need to calm down. You're hysterical. She repeated, I hit him. And there was a police officer who was in that vicinity kind of with us who replied, you what? She repeated it one more time. And that officer then signaled to somebody, get Goody down here, which I'm assuming would be the sergeant.
Attempting to do CPR, but due to the erratic behavior, she was running back and forth between the other female on scene and the body, back and forth, trying to press on his chest, wake him up, talk to him, just to no avail. So the only response that I was personally given was just, I hit him, oh my God, I hit him.
She was just acting kind of erratic and kind of running around screaming different things.
And as far as the different things that she was screaming, what, if anything, do you recall specifically hearing her screaming when she was running around?
It was just something like, he's dead.
So we heard from a total of 4 witnesses today before court officially ended. Tomorrow, the jury will be visiting the scene where Officer John O'Keefe died. So we want to bring in WBZ I-Team Chief Investigator Cheryl Fiandaca, as usual, to give us a breakdown of what happened in court. Cheryl is also an attorney, by the way. One thing of note, at the beginning of the week, they were going at a pretty good clip, talking to a lot of witnesses, and it seemed a little bit slower today.
A little bit slower, and a lot of the same testimony. You heard a lot about what she said at the scene, why it wasn't in reports, when people started to talk about what they said, she said. So it started to get a little slower there, and this trial is going to go on for quite some time. I think the prosecution has about 87 witnesses that they're saying they're going to call. The defense talking about 77. Some of those people may be the same people. So this trial could go on for at least 6 or 8 weeks.
Wow, a lot to get through. And also, Cheryl, you noted there was an important ruling today that has to do with this case.
Right. I mean, as everyone knows, this case has been super controversial, and it's had a lot of interest from folks, protesters, people demonstrating both for Karen Read and saying that she's been framed. So the judge put a buffer zone in effect, a 200-foot buffer zone, is saying that also not to use any megaphones to try to shield the jury from any kind of outside influence. The Supreme Judicial Court ruling today that that buffer zone stays in effect.
So the buffer zone is fine. Anyone who drives in the area of Dedham Square will pass by and see that any people who are there to demonstrate are further down the street from the courthouse and not right in that vicinity. Right. What else struck you about the testimony so far this morning? It's only a half day again today.
Right, another half day today. I think that both sides are trying to get their points out. That she seemed, the defense is saying she seemed distraught, that she was hysterical, that if she said the things that they say she said them because she was, hysterical, thinking that somehow she was a part of what happened here. And the prosecution's looking at it saying, no, this is what's called under the law excited utterances, which is basically she said something that was against her interest in this case, saying that I hit him, I killed him. Those are all the things that they're trying to say, well, if that's what she said, if that's what they said she said, then maybe that's what happened.
Then it's admissible. And you picked up on the fact that some of the first responders remembered that she said those things and others didn't.
And others didn't. And also, they made a big deal on both sides of saying whether it was in the report, when they said it, when they heard it, if they could have. They showed some video that appeared to show that maybe one of the first responders wasn't near where the scene was when she allegedly said what she said. So they'll go back and forth with this, and that's why I think it's taking quite some time, because it's not, a lot of it is just details.
But it's crucial, right?
It's crucial for both sides. Yep.
Cheryl Fiandaca, thank you for